Hey guys, and welcome to a new year. It is 2026. Well, 2026 in a matter of what time is it? I'm not sure. Let's look. In a matter of 8 hours, it is going to be 2026, which means we have a whole bunch to talk about. Um, Obviously, most foremost is hey, it's a new year, right? I mean, heck. 2025 was absolutely crazy, I think, for every single person I spoke to over the past, couple of weeks. It just was one thing after another. We don't want that this year. We are pushing that energy out of here. On another note, we're going to go over some of the goals that I have here for you guys and for just in general, just as normal. We're resolutioning, but we're merely making it a bigger goal, as resolutions, as I said, feels like up to an ultimate downfall because it feels like is ride or die. And I mean, though you might have your ride or die for people, is really not when you're developing habits and trying to make your life better. Like that is the complete and honest truth for me. So I'm gonna clip this to my shirt. Hope that it doesn't sound like crap, and we're gonna get going on this. Well, as we can tell, the dogs are thoroughly wound up. Some people decided to walk by the house. And I realized I looked a little bit like a fool, which I guess is going to be the first order of business of the year, is not to look as foolish. And guess who's helping that happen? Okay, maybe that's not realistic. I'm going to look a fool either way. I mean, I have 3 crazy dogs always on me. Hi, Loon. Hi, Loon Balloon. Hi. So, looking a fool. I don't literally mean looking a fool, by the way. I mean just trying to have better quality in general. One of those things for myself, I told myself if I was decently consistent this year, which I was, that I could get myself some mics. So I actually just did that for myself for a redemption, not a redemption, for a reward for this year was to get a mic. We've seen my audio quality specifically, I've noticed, be up top tier, be amazing, and then I've watched it also like completely tank and be really like sketchy. And even if I turn the volume all the way up, you can barely hear it, and the rest of the video's really loud. Which let's just say that's not the best. It's not what we want. So, making for me a better video quality for you guys is one of the top things on my list, because I do enjoy making these videos as much as I am working on being consistent because of my schedule and because of things going on in my personal life that I do not discuss on here. And I feel like get upset with myself for not having the quality that I expect of myself. So this is my way of trying to push forward and work on that goal. The other big goal in that aspect, as my hair's falling out of my hair clip, would definitely be video and photo quality. My thumbnails are starting to look the same because I am pulling thumbnails from, I don't know, even the beginning of the year to like years ago. So I definitely need to work on my thumbnail game. Yeah, thumbnails. Woo! I mean, obviously also I need to work on my video quality gain, but right now we took the first step and we are working on the audio, which I feel like is a little more important than the video quality at the moment, just so that way sound can stay consistent on your TVs, phones, devices, whatever you watch me on. Okay. I think, yes, it's still playing with the mic here. Whew. Okay. So now that we have the video at least out of the way for now, for tonight, we're going to continue talking about the photo goals. I've always kind of wanted, I have a nice camera, I learned how to take all of the nice photos, but the one thing I never did was actually keep up with taking said photos unless they're of my dogs. Don't get me wrong, loves, I love them. But I mean, I could definitely use some better content for myself as well. Mostly I use my dog's photos everywhere too, so I mean, people probably want to know more about what's going on in life than just my dogs. I don't, but again, I might be a little biased because they are my puppies and I love them to pieces. So yes, consistency is going to be another big thing. I want to be posting twice a week towards, I'm going to say September of this year, 2026 and on. So kind of work on finding a way to be able to not only make the content and make a good quality content, but make it so I don't have to stress out day of publishing, which tends to be the case. So I want to be able to have the video made, edited, ready to upload. So I definitely want to make some backups. I'm going to say at least 3, because if I'm making 2 a week, I mean, it's usually every other week I'm stressing out to make videos. Maybe I won't have to as much. And if I think I stress out more about it because I'm giving myself the time constraint. So figuring out new times to give you guys videos is going to be definitely top tier of my list. But this is going to be posted the second week of the new year. So it's going to be definitely different because last week's video was a recap of 2025. And yeah, we do what we do. So with that, consistency, there's obviously other consistencies like food. I haven't been eating out as much, but I still ate out a little bit more than I think I wanted to this year. I definitely want to make more at home, food that I actually need to make for myself and not food that's just made here, ready to go, which is going to be difficult because 2 people cooking 2 different meals at 2 different times might be a little hectic, but figuring out is definitely on my list now that my puppy is sleeping and is nice and calm. I have already found a couple of recipes that are super quick that I'd be able to just either fry something up, not literally fry it, but fry it up enough, or for example, just put something in the oven. Today I ate a little more unhealthy, but I still made it at home and I didn't eat it out. So, I mean, I'd say that's still a win. The only other thing is that I'm willing to share with you guys is probably working out. Only because you guys have seen part of my journey. I won't say my entire journey, because a couple years ago, I think really right before 6 months before I started YouTube up again, I weighed the most I had in my entire life. I felt like crap. I never felt good. And then I lost it all. So me trying to keep that off, but also trying to feel good, because I can definitely tell when I'm not eating right and when I'm not exercising. And I have been told I'm not allowed to exercise for the next couple of weeks. And I can feel the difference, and I can feel the energy levels. I can see it in my face. I need that. And hopefully in that couple of weeks, I'll be able to really get going on that again and loving life again in that regard. I do love life. It's just all the voices, I'm going to call them the ADHD voices and the writing voices, kind of like slow down to one voice, and I'm able to concentrate. I'm able to get a lot more done. It just helps me focus, helps me sleep a little bit better, especially when I have a small case of insomnia. So getting that exercise really helps me get to sleep and stay asleep, and not having that has definitely been an interesting time, including getting up in the morning and refusing to has definitely been difficult these past couple weeks of December. But it's not as bad as it could be, and I know that. I just need to work on that for future reference. Now, other things I am willing to share with you guys. Changing fates. So, basically, I did the biggest round of edits this year, which was merging 2 chapters into one. It took me 3 days. And I basically ended where I started, but I came up with something far greater than it was. It's no longer a choppy, unorganized mess of a 2-chapter flashback. It is 1 chapter now, but it is still the same amount of verbiage for that flashback, and I definitely want to work on cutting it down and figuring out exactly how I can do that for this 1 chapter. So that is going to be high on the list, on top of getting it out to beta readers. I really need to hunker down and try that. And that also includes rewriting book 2, for example, which I am currently at 4:12 p.m. on New Year's Eve. 7 chapters in. I'm basically going to do what I do everywhere on New Year's. I'm going to do basically what I do every year on New Year's Eve, and I am going to be writing when that ball drops. So we're gonna, hopefully, we're not gonna finish. There's no way I can finish this in 8 hours, and it's gonna be less so because I, guess what, still have a YouTube video to edit, though I do have it more planned than I usually do, so it's not gonna be as chaotic or as troublesome to try and put together, which I will say is definitely helpful and probably makes me a lot happier. Other than that, yes, getting the other books rewritten to make sure all the ideas that kind of I dived into book 1 and need to take off into the other books all line up properly for myself. I'm not like super heavily editing them, obviously, but it helps me get a platform. It helps me get a like sound ground. I realize that is there. But yeah, it helps me kind of structure in my brain how things need to go. I remember putting something in book 5. I was just like, yo, that actually makes a lot more sense. And I had to go all the way back to book 1 and fix it. And it wasn't like fixing it directly. It was like, oh, this makes more sense. You just got to rewrite this like one part. Though it lines up perfectly, it foreshadows perfectly. It's just one of those things that makes a little bit more sense if I changed it. Like, it would make sense, but it wouldn't, like, make sense, if you know what I mean. Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. But writing is something that I do love very, very big. Very, very much. And my other big writing goal is I want to write a new project. And I kind of want to keep that project a secret. But I will give you the project name. It's Project Temple Priest. It is actually a contemporary. There is no fantasy aspect of it at all. It is pure contemporary retelling of, I don't know if it's a fairy tale or if it's, let me look up. Okay, I guess I can say that. It is considered a classic. Yeah, so I guess it's just a retelling of a classic tale. I have seen a couple of them redone, none of which are taking the route that I'm taking. I mean, mine is definitely different than the ones that I've seen. I just didn't realize it was just considered classic for some reason. I thought it was like a myth or a legend, or I mean, not even like a myth or a legend. I just thought it was more. I will say it is also a little out of my depth, which is probably a little surprising also because, as you know, I'm a big fantasy writer. But we're also going like not only from like medieval, we're jumping from like the medieval, maybe a little bit of steampunky mixed in there, all the way to like nowadays. We're keeping it in the nowadays, we're keeping it in this world. So it's definitely going to be different. It is exciting. I will say there are enough horrors in classics for me to tell you it is based off of a classic horror novel, and this is a book that's kind of been brewing in my brain for a couple of years, but the music has slowly been inspiring me more and more, and more scenes and more scenes, and I'm like, gosh, I have a feeling this is going to be a duology, and we're going to have some problems. But that is a project I definitely want to write this year for Novel November, so I might definitely do some like planning and research, because there is some things that I definitely am going to need to research for this project, and I'm like thinking of the amount of things, and I'm just like, oh, please nobody look at my search history. It's kind of like when you're a writer and you write fantasy and you're just like, how many ways people can just, you know. Yeah, I feel like this is almost worse though. This is going to be interesting. So, but yeah, I feel like because all of my searches also have to do with that subject, I mean, it might make sense for what I'm trying to do, but I mean, my mother would still be like, Kim, what are you doing? And I'd be like, don't worry about it. Love you. That sounded a little ridiculous. I'm a little tired. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to midnight, but we are sure as heck going to try. On the writing aspect, obviously just continuing to write, edit, do all the things, and stay inspired is going to be my top priority. So if at some point I'm not feeling inspired, I'm not going to force myself to feel inspired to write. Maybe I'll just go on Pinterest and I'll scroll and I'll see if there's any inspirational photos or anything like that to actually keep me going. reading. I want to read the books I own. I mean, Hero got me that awesome book scanner. I've scanned all of my books in. I know how many books I have. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I need to actually read the ones that I own. And I mean, I think I read so far 10 that I owned here. I'm 70% of the way done one that I currently own, and I'm not going to probably finish that by the end of the year, but I really would like to. So that's definitely going to be a fight response for me if I want to write or if I want to read, because I was reading it at work. Because we're able to do that on downtime if we absolutely have nothing to do, and I bother my bosses too much about, hey, is there something to do, that they know that when I actually do nothing, there is nothing left. But I got all teary and I was like, I can't keep reading this here. Trying to see if there's much else we can really talk about goals wise on here, because I'm trying this new thing of not sharing, like oversharing my goals like I have done in previous years, to try and hold myself accountable and myself only, maybe making a video diary for myself instead. And then seeing how I do, and if I want to share it with you guys, because I should be doing this for me and for nobody else. And I feel like that's a big thing about New Year's resolutions as well, is that we do it for the flair and because that's what everybody's doing, and we're not actually doing it for ourselves, and then we end up hating the activity or hating the thing, or we're going so far full out that we cannot find the enjoyment in something that we actually might enjoy, and that is a huge problem and misconception in all of these things. And I know a lot of people probably don't find an issue with it, but it really is. It does have a strain on our mentality, and we really need to find a way to stop straining our mentality, including burnout, which is what New Year's resolutions tend to do to people, from what I have seen and what I have heard, when people are actually trying to perform a resolution instead of trying to build small habits to make an outlasting life, or long habits in general. I say life, but it's usually what they want in life as the end goal, but jumping full, like, both feet in to, like, I don't even know how to describe that. You wouldn't just jump on a balance beam and expect to do all the things that the gymnasts do perfectly. You have to start slow. You might not even start directly on the balance beam. You have to test the waters. You have to slowly work your way up to it. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with the New Year's resolution goals. And I did want to talk about that sooner, so maybe this entire spot is going to be cut back to the beginning, but it probably won't. I might just leave like a, hey, go to this spot if you want to hear more about New Year's resolution conversations, because I feel like I have this conversation relatively every year, whether people understand or need a better way of planning. I don't think making it a resolution is a good thing, only because it feels like it's ride or die, it's full send or no send, it's all of those things that you're thinking in your head right now, and I am repeating myself very repetitively. So I think it is definitely time to move on. Gardening. I did start showing you guys some gardening this year. I love it. It's so hard in like the fall and the winter to really be gardening, but I have some books and some research that I can do to definitely work into some winter gardening. Like, I know in January, it says to start planting my onion seeds and my onion starters, so that I think that is something I'm going to do. And I'm going to look up potatoes as well, I think, this year, especially because I just found this like roasted chicken potato recipe that I absolutely love, and I feel like it's going to be one of my go-tos because it's like a 20-minute meal. It's super easy. So but yeah, making the garden stuff, like growing the potatoes or the onions or whatever I decide to do, and then eating it at the table is like a whole different sense of joy for myself. And maybe that's just because I like to sustainably live as much as I possibly can. Like, I'll go to thrift stores. I mean, I bought this beautiful dress last year. Haven't gotten to wear it for you guys, but absolutely loved it. Thrifted it. I don't feel also like prices are insanely fair for new clothes. I will go to a clearance section before I go to the new clothes section. I might be a season behind, but you know what? The clothes are comfortable and I can wear them next year. That's just me. And hiking. We know I like my hikes. I didn't get to do as much this year as I wanted because I Because I listen to doctors and all this, and they're like, hey, maybe take it easy until we figure out what's wrong with you. And it's like, sounds good. Sounds good. Other than that, yeah, I really think that's all that I can give you guys for at least what I'm willing to share for this year. For you guys, like I said, I have my own goals, but I feel like I need to hold myself accountable to those goals and not give you guys all my goals and hold myself accountable that way. Obviously, there are the 4 sections of goals that I have in my repertoire here. A 5th possibly on the way, depending on how things go this year. And yes, the 5th one might have to be added in. That's totally fine. You can add goals. I am going to be breaking them down a little bit differently this year. We'll get more into that as the year goes on, as I start developing all these habits and all of these things. But I never want to stop doing any of them. For you guys, I definitely think I want to show you guys more of the puppos, although I know you guys see them a lot as well. I feel like they have a whole set of abilities that I don't even realize, and I need to start helping them strive to their full potential as well, as I can see the look sometimes on their face, knowing that, hey, we're not doing everything that we can, and it's like that we're going to start doing that. So, without further ado, I bring you guys to the end of the video. We're going to try something a little different. I'm going to maybe have a compilation of dog videos, writing videos, kind of smashed into the last 20 seconds to give you guys an outro. It'll be easier during the vlog because I can like cut the vlog down into seconds, but for now it's going to be just like a compilation of videos in general, whether it's happy laughing or if it's craziness. That will be your last 20 seconds from now on, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now. Not happen. I'ma roll. I'ma roll. Okay.